Well, hello there, sports fans. This here's One Trucker's Wisdom coming to you once again from Volvo Hotel here in the great state of Oklahoma. I gotta ask you a question. You know, this year, 2020, what sold out faster in this country? I got four. It's like a multiple guess thing here. Was it toilet paper? Was it ammo? Fox News? Or Mitch McConnell? You take your choice. Oh, are we having fun yet? Hey, listen, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share this video. And if it goes down, you can find it on Rumble. I will put it up on Rumble after I get done putting it up on YouTube. And if YouTube takes this one down, then guess what? I'll just go to Rumble from now on. But anyway, let's get on with the show today. It's been a couple of days since I've been on, and like I've been telling you for a long time, this whole thing is a dog and pony show. But it's getting to be a good damn dog and pony show, isn't it? Oh, man. Did you see well, I know most of the stuff you guys have already heard, but I'm just going to give you my view on it, kind of. But you know, the Dominion machines. Now, I'm not disputing the election, YouTube. I'm just pointing out facts that have come out in the media here lately. The Dominion machines had an error rate of 68%. Man alive, I wish I could get that kind of an error rate next time I take a driver's test or something. What do you think? Do you think if all of us out here had a 68% error rate or mistake rate or whatever you want to call it, how do you think things would be going for you? Just kind of a small question, huh? You see, the Michigan State Police the other day, like I said, just the other day, and they stopped the Republican electors from coming in. You know, you can't come in here. Well, isn't that the people's house? What gives the governor the right to lock those people out of that building? Even though we know they're Trump electors, they're coming in there to cast their votes for Trump. But those cops got this is the part that really burns my ass. Every one of us out here that are, law-abiding citizens, we want to back the blue. We want to back the police. But they also have a responsibility to the Constitution of the United States. That's the people's house. That's not Gretchen Whitmer's house. At some point, you people on the blue, if you want our backing, you're going to have to back the people. And I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything else. But every time I turn around, I see the police departments, enforcing these, you know what I'm talking about. Writing people tickets. Shutting people's businesses down. People, I tell you what, man, people are getting tired. I'd like to know, like I said, you guys might want to start taking the time to remember the oath you took. Because at some point in time, you're going to need the people to back you. Some people may not be there. That's all I got to say. But at some point, you guys are going to have to make a choice. Let's see. I love the Wisconsin Supreme Court. You remember all those people that cast ballots because they said they were infirm and they couldn't leave the house, and they were almost bedridden, and you didn't have to have an ID to vote or anything else. Come to find out, one of the damn state's electors had filed a ballot that way. For years they might have 12,000 people that would register like that. What was it last year? They had like 200,000 people that said that they were bedridden or house-ridden, or they infirm to the point where they couldn't go out to vote. Kind of funny, isn't it? But like I said, you guys, most of this stuff you guys have already heard. But I'm just kind of glossing over today because I haven't been up on YouTube for a few days, just simply because everybody's just regurgitating the same shit over and over and over and over again. Because in my opinion, when it comes down to it, at some point between now and the 20th, I don't know that the courts will decide on this deal. I think it'll be martial law, to be honest. And a lot of people going to jail. Now, that's just my opinion. And I'm entitled to my opinion, right? However, people out there, if I were you, like I've said 1,000 times, keep your house prepped like you would for a hurricane. Make sure you got extra water. Make sure you got a little extra food. Make sure everything in your house operates, including those little things they always want to take away from us. You know, like self-defense. Clean them and oil them. That's all I got to say. But anyway, what else we got here? Stacey Abrams at Corn Cob Eaton. Well, you know what I'm talking about. She looks like, who was that played for the New York Giants? What the hell's his name? Got the big old split in his teeth. I can't even think of it. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm getting old. People can see now. But old Stacey Abrams just reminds me of the fat version of that. You know what I mean? But she's jumping up and down going, my God, I got 1.5 million absentee ballots out already. Man, they're getting ready. They're going to try to, like I said, I'm going to go vote, because if I don't go vote, because I live in the state of Georgia, if I don't go vote, then that's just an easy win for them. At least if I go vote, it'll make them have to cheat harder. I think in the long run, I don't think it's going to make a shit worth a difference anyhow. Because at some point, I got a feeling old DJT is going to come down and stomp on the world. And I think it's coming really soon. Just my opinion, though. My opinion. I think the old deep state's kind of like, you know, they're about to, well, never mind. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Oh, what else did I have on my mind? Let's see. A Michigan attorney in charge of the Dominion, this Michigan attorney, okay, sorry, I'm spitting over myself here, that was basically had brought a bunch of evidence about these Dominion machines being, error, 68% error and all that kind of stuff, what I was just talking about. Do you realize the Department of Justice in Michigan has threatened this man with a lawsuit and throwing him in jail with incarceration for doing his job? See, that's how big these tyrants have become. It's just, I know there are days when I just sit there and go, are you flipping kidding me? I see where the Georgia Secretary of State, Ratzenberger, wait a minute, Ratzenberger? No, it's Ratzenberger is what his name is. Says he's going to switch to the Democrat Party. I'd like to know when he was ever in the Republican Party. Like, he gives Rhino a really good new name. And they're going to give him, the Democrats are going to give him an award for being brave. No, they should be giving him an award for sticking to whatever bribe he took. What was that old saying back in the day? Remember that movie Used Cars from years ago? About two brothers owned car dealerships across the street from each other. Kurt Russell was in it and a couple other people. And one of the greatest lines in that movie, when this guy found out that this highway was going to go through his car lot instead of his brother's car lot, and he was pissed off about it. He said, man, back in the day when you bought a politician, they stayed bought. But speaking of that, get a little serious for a minute. That kid Deal, Harrison Deal was his name, died in that car wreck. Isn't it kind of funny that that car wreck, the engine block, it's supposed to just be a head-on collision or whatever, but the engine block from that car, and somebody said it was a mass explosion. Engine block was found 60 or 70 feet away from the car crash. Now that on its face tells me something ain't quite right. Come to find out now, the inspector who was inspecting this crash, who was going through the, like Georgia's version of the FBI, Well, guess what happened to him? He committed suicide. Can't call it Arkansas. I guess now we got to call it Georgia-side. Or maybe it's Kempicide. Of course, in my opinion, it's China-side. You know what I'm saying? Here is this accident of a kid who's dating the governor's daughter. About the time when Kemp was getting ready to go ahead and let him do the, the signature check and all that kind of shit. And then this kid gets killed in a car wreck. And then the guy, a short couple weeks later, the guy that's actually doing all the inspecting on this crash, doing his due diligence, commits suicide. Note and everything. I mean, how obvious can it get? What an absolute crock of shit. Let's see. Did you see Nancy's press conference the other day? I think one of the reasons why she wears that mask, well, two reasons. Probably try to keep her teeth from flying out. And the other reason is there was fear in her eyes. And without that mask, you'd actually see the fear. I mean, you can see it, man. Every time I see her talk now, it's not that cocky Nancy Pelosi that we're used to seeing. Well, sometimes ineligible or unlegible Nancy Pelosi. Makes about as much sense as a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. But lately I've seen some fear in her, and that literally tells me everything I need to know. Kind of like back when Trump was running in 2016. I was never sure that Trump would win that election until about 4 days before the election. About 4 days before the election, I actually saw fear in a couple of Democrat pundits' eyes when they were on Fox News. And I said, they know something that I don't know because they're scared. Right now, Nancy Pelosi knows something that you and I don't know or that we're not sure of. And she's scared. Old Eric Swalwell and old Fang Fang and all this other shit's about to bring them all down. Biden's, everything. And a sure sign things ain't going their way is Camel Toe Harris hasn't given up her Senate seat. Of course, you guys know that. But I just kind of wanted to pass that along a little bit. Not to mention the fact that I see where 60 Minutes the other night actually rolled over on Nancy, okay, for insider trading. Their family's been insider trading, man, for 30 flipping years. Not to mention the fact her husband's all kinds of invested in China and every place else. Along with Dianne Feinstein, who all of a sudden now has some cognitive problems. I don't know where I'm at. Don't remember nothing from the last meeting or anything else. Yeah, they don't want to remember. That's gonna be their out when these trials start. They can't be tried. They're not of sound mind and body. These people have been treasonous for years. Sound body and mind and body went out the window a long flipping time ago. Driving Miss Diane. Oh, hello, Diane. Yeah, you all know what I mean. I'm just telling you, people, be of good cheer. Oh, and again, I'm going to tell you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share the video. Come on, guys. Help me get to 1,000 subs, man. That way YouTube can throw me off the platform. Oh, man, I'm just having a good time. Just like with Nancy, you see General Flynn, man. General Flynn was really kind of antagonized old Gretchen Whitmer. He was asking her, what the hell is she afraid of? Like I said, they're scared. And they should be. They should be. Let's see. Oh, I got a scratch. And here's another thing. Here's a former flippin' People's Liberation Army general. Now think about this for a minute. A Chinese general. He bought 200 square miles in Texas, down towards the Mexican border. Not too far from one of our Air Force Base. I think it's Laughlin. 200 square miles. And right on the Mexican border. Now take those two things and put them in your head, right? Not to mention the fact there was a runway on that ranch that he bought. Rancher probably had it for small planes like crop dusters or whatever. But they extended that runway out long enough to land a commercial airline. Or an airplane of that size. I'm not sure how many feet of runway you got to have, but they doubled the length of the runway they had at that ranch. And there's a lot of Texas ranches. Hell, well, I'm not going to talk about the Bushes because I think they're just as criminal as the rest of them. But they got a pretty good runway up there in their ranch in Midland, Texas, too. You know, there used to be this guy when he was Barry Seal. Maybe you've seen the movie American Made. One of his favorite planes was found one time in Midland, Texas, sitting on somebody's ranch. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. That's tinfoil hat shit. Okay? Remember, that's tinfoil hat shit. But anyway, I can't, you know, this ain't by accident that he buys 200 square miles on the Mexican border. Now think about, remember we talked about Chinese troops and all that kind of shit? Now, like I said, I don't know if that's fact, fiction, or not. I mean, I know they're there. And I know they're in Canada. Whether or not they're going to try to invade, who knows? But it'd be kind of easy to come across the border on a 200 square mile ranch. Not to mention the fact he's got a runway long enough to land a commercial airliner. How many people can you stuff in a commercial airliner? Come in over Mexican airspace? Of course, maybe what they don't think about is that America does monitor Mexican airspace. Just saying. For all you dipshits in China that going to think you're going to fly in under the radar coming into Texas that way. I'm just warning you. I want to help you out, man. You know? What I got to say to you people over there in the communist China. I love Chinese people. You know? And he's saying, you know, talk about Cocaine Mitch. You know, sitting there going, remember they were talking about old Fang Fang? You know, I forget who it was. Oh, it was on Fox the other day. I can't think of her name right now. I just love her to death. But she was talking about, you know, if you look like this and she looks like that, it's probably a honeypot, right? Well, I was thinking about the other day, Cocaine Mitch's old lady is Chinese, right? And she ain't bad looking. Cocaine Mitch looks like the back end of a turtle. You know what I mean? And not to mention the fact, here's something else too. Her sister is married to some other clown who actually has ties to the CCP. Isn't that funny how all of a sudden now old Mitch is talking about, you know, we got to move on. You know, that's President-elect Joe Biden. We got to move on now. Kind of funny it worked out that way, didn't it? Kind of Fang, you know, what's her face? Christine Fang or whatever they call her. Oh, Eric Swalwell's girlfriend. Now you start looking at Mitch and you go, huh, makes you wonder, don't it? I'm sorry, people, I gotta laugh, man. I just gotta laugh. Otherwise, I'd probably cry. But be of good cheer, because this whole thing's gonna get worked out. I guarantee it. If it don't get worked out, then guess what? We're all gonna have to get worked up. All right? You know what I mean, Vern? There you go. Yeah. What was that one actor was said, I'm gonna get up on top of my house? Yeah. Well, that's probably, well, I wouldn't get on top of my house. Makes you too much of an easy target. Get out in the brush someplace, man. Oh, where was I? Oh, let's see. DNI Ratcliffe. I hear his report because you know he found interference. Found interference from China. Found interference from Iran. There's probably interference from Canada, Spain, Germany. Hell, there's probably interference all over the flipping world on this election. In fact, if they can't find interference, then I got a feeling, you know, like Helen Keller, you know what I mean? Hey, did I ever ask you how come Helen Keller's leg was always yellow? Because her dog was blind too. Isn't that killing you? That's gotta be killing you, right? Let's see. Oh, see, I already did that one. Oh, now here's something, get a little serious for a second. Kind of give you guys a little bit of cheer. Now we know that Barr hasn't, from what I understand, he hasn't totally stepped down. See, he's taking a break over Christmas. to reevaluate or whatever that's supposed to mean. Is he actually hasn't given his resignation, for what I understand. But the Attorney General, Mr. Rosen. Now here's a couple of things you might want to know about Mr. Rosen. Mr. Rosen served, so basically he's military. He served with General Flynn in the Army. Oh, but it gets better. Mr. Rosen's father, for all you 17 people out there, Mr. Rosen's father actually served John F. Kennedy's administration. Let that sink in for a minute. Let that thing sink in for all you people who have been following the board and the 17 and all that kind of stuff. You think about that for a minute. Mr. Rosen, a former military officer, served with General Flynn. Mr. Rosen's father, who also served for JFK. Starting to put the connections together there, people? Just thought I'd pass that along. Let's see. What else do I got? Well, not a lot. But I'm just going to say one thing. Somebody said something the other day I thought was really, really funny. And almost as funny as my, how come Helen Keller's leg was yellow. Somebody said the other day that somebody needs to give Jim Acosta some Vagisil. Are we having fun yet, people? Be of good cheer. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. God bless each and every one of you out there. I love each and every one of you as a human being. I want the best for each and every one of you. Pray for your president. Pray for your country. And I'll be praying for each and every one of you out there. We're all going to have to stand up. There's going to be 7 to 10 to 15 days of some real serious shit coming up pretty soon, in my opinion, from everything that I've heard from people. Have a little extra water at home, a little extra food, because I think when they get ready to go out here and do this big fishing trip with a big ass trawler, there'll be a whole lot of shit going to go down. Some people ain't going to be happy about it. But I think our president's got it handled. Anyway, if this gets pulled down, I will. Well, I'm going to put it up on Rumble anyway. What I'll do is I'll put this up on YouTube, and after it gets done downloading, then I'll put a copy of it up on Rumble. You guys have a great day. This here's one trucker's wisdom saying, hasta la bye.